Oh, there we are. We're live. Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone, and welcome to a brand new episode of the Pastrami Nation podcast. I'm Kevin, and joining me today, co-founder of Pastrami Nation himself, Mr. Jason Smith. How you doing today, sir?
Good. How you guys doing?
Doing pretty good. Doing pretty good. Of course, the Godfather of Toys, Mr. Christian Nacorda. How you doing today, sir?
I am doing good. It's good to see you guys.
Good to see you.
Yeah,
Glad to be here.
yeah, it's good to see you all. We didn't do one last week, obviously. Things happen. I was down in California, enjoying the California sunshine. I'm so glad, even up here in Portland, things are cooling down a little bit. I don't know what it's like down there, but man, it's starting to get darker earlier. Fall's coming in, and I absolutely love it. I live for the fall, like 100%.
You went to a little theme park out there, didn't you, in
Yeah,
California?
this little theme park. They needed our help, right? They needed us to go out there. They needed us to explore. They need us to go out there and show the world about this magical place. It's this little place called Disney Park, Disneyland. I think it's
Place?
called
Yes.
Disney Place. I think it's called Disney
Disney
Place.
Place. Sounds about right.
Yeah.
Started by this guy named Walt Disney back in the it's a whole thing. You guys don't need to bore you with it. But it's a good time. Y'all should check it out if you haven't. If you've never heard of it, just tell them I sent you, and you might get a nice reward. But no, yeah, we had a blast, man. We were there for a week. We were there during Hurricane Hillary,
That's
Tropical
awesome.
Storm Hillary.
Oh man, how did you
The park was
survive?
almost empty. I know, man. Us Portlanders, we're not used to the rain, so
Oh no.
we had to really, really get our. No, we bought ponchos. Like we went all in. Like we were like, we're from Portland, but this is a lot. Like this is still a lot. Like when you're at a theme park and your shoes are wet, and it's just like it's a, because the thing about here, like yeah, it does rain a lot, but like you're not outside all day, right? Like you go
Yeah.
inside, like but at a place like Disneyland, there is a lot of places to go inside. You get on the queues, wait in lines and stuff like that. But there weren't really any lines to speak of. It was like 5-10 minute waits. The longest line on that day was Rise of the Resistance, which was at 100 minutes. But the whole queue was like
That's not that
inside.
bad, really.
No, it's really not. It's really not. So, Arturo, what's up, man? Nice to see you. Thank
What's up,
you for
Arturo?
joining
How's
us
it
so
going?
much. But yeah, we had a blast. Like I said, we were there we were at the parks from Sunday to Thursday, and every day after that was just like packed. Like it was crazy. It was insane. Not, again, not like super, super packed. Not like, you didn't have 3-4 hour waits for any lines or anything like that. You had maybe 2 hours at the most, an hour and a half. Not horrible.
No,
Still,
decent.
decent. Yeah, not too bad at all. Yeah, we had fun. We got to check out Rogers the Musical, which is the show that they're putting on at Disney California Adventure at the Hyperion Theater. I actually wrote a full review, which is going to be coming out on Pastrami Nation soon.
Sweet.
So definitely check that out. Super, super fun show. I don't know how many of y'all have watched Hawkeye, but it was kind of that running gag through the show with the Rogers the Musical. And
Nice.
yeah, we had a blast. It was like a half hour show, and it didn't feel like I said this in my review, but it doesn't feel like a theme park show. Like it feels like you were at a theater, like you were checking out a legitimate Broadway show. Like it was amazing. It was fun. We got the premium package viewing experience. It was like $20 extra, or I think it was like $29.99, but you get the preferred seating. You get a free popcorn bucket with popcorn. You get a drink, and you get to like go in before everyone else and choose your seats, which was really, really cool. So definitely worth the upgrade. We had a blast. You get, like I said, a commemorative popcorn bucket and a really cool, the show's only showing for a limited time. So they say it's supposed to be ending August 31st. So if you go to California Adventure, highly, highly, highly recommend checking it out. It's
You got like 3 days.
Yeah, you get like 3 days. But it certainly was definitely memorable. Definitely one of the coolest things I've seen. It's part of the MCU, right? Like we're, I'm a sucker for the MCU, not of lately, but before, before Ant-Man, all the early phases, you gotta love it, right? Like, I mean, I just love it all. And this was a really, really great moment in MCU history. Like it does this really cool thing where, it's all about Steve Rogers and his kind of his story, but it does this thing where it's, I don't want to say it's poking fun at it because it's not, but it kind of is, but it's also, it takes itself seriously to an extent to where it's it's a spoof, but not, right? If that makes sense. Like they're not just like making fun of everything, but it's super funny, super charming. Like they know exactly what they're doing, right? Like they know how to work the lyrics, how to make everything work and flow to where it's hilarious, but also heartfelt. And it actually almost makes you cry at points because it really focuses on his psychology and his whole thing with Peggy and stuff like that. And it's a really fun ride. And I think people will certainly enjoy it. The soundtrack is incredible. You Hawkeye, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. There's that the end credits of the very last episode showed the whole Save the City sequence, the musical version, and they recreated it like on stage perfectly. Like it was
awesome.
Fantastic. So, yeah. Definitely check that out if you guys get the chance. But we had a really, really good time. Haunted Mansion was closed because they were converting it to the Before Christmas.
The Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yeah. And then I got these really cool ears because I had to have them.
I was just about to mention that. I'm loving those ears you got.
These ears were incredible. I was originally going to get some Oswald ears, and I was like gearing up for. I'm going to get these Oswald ears because I really wanted them. But then these came out literally the day we were there on Tuesday, and I didn't see them the last time, on Sunday. And I was like, wait, where'd these come from? And Cassie's like, they just came out like this morning. I was like, swoop, like I had to have them. They're amazing.
I need those ears.
The Sea Rangers, dude, they're so cool. After I found out Cap knew Bucky killed Tony's parents and hid it, it was hard for me to care for Cap on any level. Yeah, that's the dilemma, right? Like, obviously, Cap and Bucky go literally way back, right? Like they essentially grew up together. That's a whole other topic for a whole other podcast, but I get what you mean, Anthony, for sure, 100%. And I've mentioned this before on another podcast, but if you guys have not, please do not miss the opportunity to go. If you're ever at Disneyland, go to Toontown, check out Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railroad. I'm telling you guys, you won't regret it. It's so much fun. It's so charming. It's like you're in a cartoon. It's I hesitate. I don't hesitate saying this, but like I like it better than Rise of the Resistance, even though Rise of the Resistance is amazing. One just has that Disney magic. Like it feels like Disney through and through, which I absolutely love. So, but yeah. Yeah. So if you guys are on social media, on Instagram, Facebook, whatever, I've been posting a lot of stuff and in cooperation with Pastrami Nation. So we've been kind of, putting a lot of the different foods they have there that I got to experiment. I'm going to be talking about this Dole Whip forever, man. But there is this chili mango Dole Whip.
My God. Yeah. I saw your pictures.
Oh my gosh, dude. It was amazing. The chili, the mango Dole Whip with the chamoy and the lemon lime seasoning and the actually cut up mango pieces and cucumber. Oh my gosh, it's amazing. It's amazing. Runaway Railway jumped on my number 2 ride at Disneyland, hands down. Absolutely, Anthony. I completely agree. It's so much fun. I absolutely love it. I love the trackless ride system. I love the way it flows. It's just a blast. Like you can't get on that ride. Like if you're having a bad day at Disneyland and you get on that ride, you're going to be smiling. Like when you get off, like there's no way not going to. So, so it's great. It's fantastic. So question for you guys. I was just thinking about this today. What's your favorite thing to, like, when you go to Disneyland, what's your favorite thing to eat at the parks? Like if you had to pick one specific thing that you had to eat at the parks, what is it? What's your go-to thing? What's your go-to snack, meal, whatever it may be? Go for it. What is it, Jason? Christian?
It's got to be hands down California Adventure Corn Dog Castle, the Hot Link Corn Dog. That's like my go-to.
Hot Link corn dog?
The Hot Link Corn Dog.
Oh,
it's basically a Hot Link corn dog. It's just how it sounds. Like how big Hot Links are, right?
Yeah.
And the sweetness of the batter offsets the hotness of the corn dog, of the hot link. It's just, I mean, oh my, it's right there, like next to that like swing thing.
Yeah.
And
I know which one
yeah,
you're talking about. Yeah.
yeah, that's my
Oh, for
go-to
sure.
right there. Like, I remember I hadn't been to Disneyland in like since 2016. I went with my brother like back in February or whatever, and I told him that's the one thing I absolutely need to do here today is have that hot link corn dog, and I did.
Nice, dude.
Oh my
Very cool. What
god!
about you, Christian? What's your favorite thing?
I think there's like the holy trifecta of Disneyland, right? Like I think if it's one thing, I'm gonna get a churro, right? That's it.
Oh, of course.
Summer days must have Dole Whip. You gotta stop by there and get it.
Yep.
As Kevin was just saying, there's a whole bunch of new different Dole Whips. There's the OG, but then there's
Oh
that.
my God.
There's a couple, and they're all worth trying.
They had a strawberry shortcake one too that was
Oh,
incredible.
Yeah, there was a deluxe one. They would put like cut up fruit toppings on top of it
Oh my
too.
gosh, so good.
And it came with like I remember that last year. I don't know that that's year round. So yeah, Dole Whip, churro, obviously, and then I just like the OG corn dogs. Like if we go in at the end of Main Street, right before when you
The
go
cart?
to the right, the cart, there's a red cart there,
yes,
just right there. That's perfect.
delicious.
Special shout out to that restaurant right there. Their fried chicken that they have. They have a fried chicken meal, mashed potatoes, green beans. Yes.
That's the Riverbell Terrace, right?
Yes.
Yes.
That's really good. And then there's a Casa Dojo house. I forget what it's called. There's a little Mexican restaurant that's right next to the Big Thunder Mountain. Excellent.
That's where they originated Doritos. That's
yep.
where Doritos came from. Yeah.
Dorito originally came from there. But they have some different like horchatas. I think last time I was there, they had like a special horchata, like a cold brew horchata. It was really good. So that's nice, especially in the summer too.
You guys ever do the Oreo churro?
No, we didn't. We didn't get that risky. No, we unfortunately did not get a chance.
Did you do the hot Cheeto one? You mentioned that one.
Yes.
What was that like?
So just real quick, Anthony Blanco says chimichanga or churro. Completely on board. We missed out on the chimichanga. We wanted to get the breakfast chimichanga, but we missed out on that. Arturo says churros, ice cream, Dole Whip. 100%. Anthony Blanco, they had a limited buffalo turkey leg last month. Actually, when we were there, they had a sriracha turkey leg.
Ooh.
And it was incredible. It was in California Adventure. We did have that. I should take a bit. I didn't even get the picture of that. So yes, I did try the red hot. It was a red hot churro from Senior Buzz cart over in Pixar Pier. I was both like, I was excited to try it. I was stoked, man. I was like, this is gonna be amazing. Like, it's gonna be incredible. It's gonna taste so good. It tasted like a churro with a little bit, with a little bit of flavoring to it. I was honestly a little bit disappointed. I wasn't hoping for like super spicy or anything like that, but I was hoping for a little bit of a little kick, right? Like obviously, like some people were saying it tasted like a red hot, like the red hot candies with that cinnamon flavor. I didn't really taste it too much.
If anybody,
it was good though. It was good. It tastes like a regular churro.
Yeah, it's great. It's just the weirdest thing. They make these things work. They sound like such outlandish flavors, and then they're like, that worked somehow. Sometimes at Disneyland, I'm like, that worked and it was bland. How did that happen twice? I would highly recommend if you have a visit coming up soon, check the blogs, check like Facebook groups. There's always like seasonal foods and snacks.
Yes.
There's always like a seasonal churro or pretzel somewhere in the park, especially with Halloween coming up. There's going to be a ton of stuff. Also, every year they do like a food and wine festival at DCA, which is awesome. Like it's a pretty good deal. I think a lot of people come out for it, so they're long lines, but it's a lot of fun. You get a lot of fun food that they don't normally have. But yeah, typically the food at those festivals at DCA are fantastic because they're always like culturally themed. So it's really good usually. What's up, Pablo?
Absolutely. Keep an eye out at Pastrami Nation for a bunch of more. We're trying to get our foot more into the Disney world, so we're going to be posting a lot more stuff about like the seasonal stuff and everything like that. So keep an eye out for that kind of stuff. We're going to get boots on the ground down there, and we're going to make it happen. So, so Arturo says, "What's up?"
Go ahead. No, I wanted to address Anthony's question, but go for it, Arturo.
Oh yeah, so we're gonna go there. California Adventure Beer and Pretzels. Yeah, I mean, I'm not a beer person, but their pretzels are. We had a jalapeno cheese like pretzel when we were there. So good, it's amazing. Anthony Blanco, what was your least favorite food item? Okay, do you guys have one? I honestly,
There's a few. There's a few.
what would you put at the top of that list? Like if you had to put like something at the top of that list, like what's something that you just were like at Disney and you tried and you're just like, yeah, it's not for me, or just yeah, I can live without it. I will tell you one thing.
Yes.
Most of the time, like just their basic burgers. Like if you go to their quick service burgers and stuff, they're fine, they're manageable, they taste okay. But it's not something that I'm gonna go and get if I'm really hungry. You know what I mean? So that's the pizza too at the Alien Pizza.
That's the worst pizza.
It's horrible.
Oh, the one that used to be Red Rockets.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it went
That pizza's
downhill.
awful.
Like,
If you the best pizza now is in Toontown. It's when you go in there, it's like they fold it up like a taco. It's somehow really good.
yeah, I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah. That's good. My least favorite, and it's not that it's not good. I love it. Here's my thing. It gives me the shits like immediately. I have the moment it hits my mouth, I've got 90 minutes. So like, and this is maybe too much information. I'm not a public pooper. So like, I only like
Amen.
Either it's super private or like it's like marble. You know what I mean? Like, so I don't like working out of school for a long time. I hated being in the bathroom.
Yeah.
And like not even having privacy. Because I would be in the bathroom in the stall and then people would look at my shoes and be like, Christian? I'm like, God.
Yeah.
So like I'm really weird about going to the bathroom in public. But yeah, I love the food there, but I don't know what it is. I can literally eat any other Mexican food, but it's just the Mexican food from that restaurant that immediately. Like I'll set a timer and I'll be
the Doritos restaurant.
Yeah, it's so good, but take it at your own risk. Yeah, there's a lot of like flighty weird stuff, but that's the one thing. Also, any food from at the end of Main Street, it's the one on the left, not the Carnation. It's right before the Carnation place. I think they sell ice cream there. It's not the God. I feel like I don't want to say anything because I don't want to like say the wrong one. But yeah, there's they have like chili cheese fries and it's not good.
Jason, what about you?
I don't necessarily have a like the pizza at the Red Rockets one. It's the Buzz Lightyear pizza now over by Space Mountain. That was a little like
the pizza
cafeteria buffet last time I went, and the marinara sauce was a little watery, but there was like there's an ice cream place. I want to say it's like the Golden Horseshoe or something.
Yes.
A good ice cream and everything, but like I went with this chick one time and the lady there sold us on ice cream nachos, right? And we're like, oh, cool, like so we went for it, Basically, I think they just took 3 separate ice cream cones, stuck them on a paper plate, and chopped it up. The ice cream was still kind of hard, like so. Good luck dipping that sucker. Your piece of your cone as your chip is just gonna break, So I'm like, I mean. We asked for spoons to eat our ice cream nachos.
That's funny.
Also, really quickly, special shout out to the best, most refreshing drink in the whole park. Go to Galaxy's Edge. Go to the back where they sell the Ronto roasters. It's called the Tatooine Sunset. I've
heard that.
Shit you not, it's the best drink.
You can come back here. Ronto wraps.
Yes, that's it. Yeah.
Yes.
Little secret back there. You can thank me later. Literally, I expect
100%.
It's so good. It's so good.
Yeah. Also, the pretty much anything. Like we went to the Blue Bayou, and they're freaking. I'm a sucker for a good Monte Cristo. Like Monte Cristos are like my kryptonite. Like I love Monte Cristos.
Blue Bayou's the one inside Pirates, right?
Yeah. Oh, and they have a strawberry pecan salad that is just to die for. It's like a spinach salad. It's like spinach, right? And it's got strawberries and like pecan, like all over it, and it's got like this vinaigrette dressing. Oh my god! and feta cheese. Like it
sounds so good.
Magical. It's amazing.
Little funny experience with Blue Bayou. Great restaurant and everything. I love it, but last time I was there was 16. I went with some chick and I took her and her kids, and they totally didn't deserve that restaurant. She orders them like the most expensive things on the plate, and they eat less than half of it. And she says, "It's okay, you don't have to finish it." I'm like, because I'm the one paying for it, Like, okay. So I felt like a jackass because, like, at least I don't mind paying for it, but at least eat it,
Yeah, no, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I hear you on that. So Anthony Blanco says s'more macaroon, way too sweet, and I love sweet. No, I agree. Macaroons to me, they just have they're very rich. Like I have to be in the right mood for them. Least favorite for Arturo says hot dogs or corn dogs. Hey, we can't all be perfect.
Fucking Blanco. Was she a Denny's date? More like a 7-Eleven date.
Right. So Starbucks free water is hands down the best bang for your buck. I completely agree. Anything you can get for free at Disneyland is totally worth it. But yeah. So yeah, Disney was a lot of fun. Always a blast. Can't wait to go back. Had some issues, but generally that's how theme parks go, right? Like you have your ups and downs, but most of it's up. So that's what I like to focus on, most of the up stuff. Speaking of Disney parks, they were busy today. Disney was talking about a lot of stuff, a lot of new things that they're doing. So they're opening up the Moana experience up in Epcot in Florida. Why am I saying up when it's like that way? It's to the side. It's east, Walt Disney World, Florida. You all know where Florida is. But they're opening their Moana walkthrough experience there. And then for Disneyland, they have just announced a few hours ago, actually. Let me see if I can get this up on my screen here. They are going to be expanding the grounds of the Haunted Mansion. So basically this is going to, become a whole new queue area. What they're doing is they're doing a lot more theming. So, they're really trying to tell a story now, right? Like they did before, but the whole thing's going to be telling a story. So it says here, obviously you guys can read, but I'll read some of it. The stately grounds of the Haunted Mansion will expand with the spirited metamorphosis at Disneyland Resort next year. This is coming in 2024, which I'm assuming is to tie in with the Tiana's Bayou Adventure when that opens, just to kind of make it more flow a little bit better with the land. Local legend suggests the manor known today as a Haunted Mansion was first built by a prosperous sea captain. To this day, the mansion staff faithfully maintains the happy haunting grounds. The expanded queue will tie into these stories and more, including new gardens inspired by Master Gracie, Madame Leota, and the One-Eyed Cat. So this is kind of going to be featuring a lot more stuff. If you can see in here, you see the queue area right there with the tree and everything in there, which is pretty cool. Then you're also getting a brand new store at the end, which is a Madame Leota themed store. So it's where that cart is right now. So you know how when you come out of the Haunted Mansion, there's a Madame Leota cart. This store is going to be taking its place, which is pretty cool. It's getting its own building in there, which is going to be pretty neat. And then so this is all just to kind of blend in. They'll also be making enhancements to the plaza adjacent to Tiana's Palace. This area is one that holds a lot of memories and history. A new, elegant park-like setting will be a place to relax and enjoy the ambiance and live entertainment under the shade of new and historic trees. All this stuff is going to start January 2024. And since it is just a queue, not just, but it is a queue and a small building and some kind of other theming, it shouldn't take that long. I don't think we actually have an opening date for Tiana's Bayou Adventure yet. But once we know that, we'll get a better idea of when this is going to open as well. Just so that everyone knows too, the Pet Cemetery and Funeral Hearse will continue to stay there. So they'll still be on the grounds. They're not getting rid of anything. They're just expanding a little bit more, making more of a themed area, which I think is really, really cool. What do you guys think about this?
I love it.
I think that's awesome. And, they're obviously having to renovate for Splash Mountain, or formerly Splash Mountain, which is right up against that. So, this is a perfect opportunity for them to update Mansion, too. I think that's really cool.
Yeah,
it's also a perfect time for me to update my season pass.
It's funny that you said that. My pass just expired 3 days ago. When I went with Kevin and his family, that was
in time.
My last one of 10
awesome.
years, man. 10 years of having that pass.
I hope we made it. I hope we made it special for you, Christian.
Sincerely, I'm glad that my last trip
but
was
yeah,
with you guys.
so look forward to. Oh yeah, no, 100%, dude. We had a blast, man. Even it was a couple hours, and it was fun. Pirates of the Caribbean, we got on Pirates. Those are the two that we got on, but it was totally a lot of fun. Loved it. But yeah, I mean, those of you who don't know, like I've met Jason before in person, long time before your brother's wedding, for Nolan's wedding.
Yeah,
but I never met Christian in person till this past week when we were down there for a little bit. So it was really cool to be able to meet him and hang out with him for a little bit. Yeah,
hey, next year let's shoot for all of us there next year.
Yeah,
100%, dude. 100%.
Yeah. Just
cool.
take a date and I'll make it happen.
Hopefully Eli won't be too old and too cool for school.
No, he won't be. We're dragging him everywhere forever. He's never moving out.
He's practically a college man now.
Dude, Anthony, next time we're down, man, come join us, please. Like we could do a pastrami. We should do a pastrami meetup at Disney. I think that would be a lot of fun.
Absolutely.
Wouldn't that be cool? Just like get a bunch of whoever wants to come, and we'd set a date and get there and just hang out. That would be a blast. I would absolutely.
That's our New Year's resolution. You heard it here first.
Absolutely.
So I know,
100%.
like, let's address you guys directly. I like Anthony, Pablo, Arturo. Like, I'm assuming you guys, like you and Jason, you guys all know Jason personally, right?
Yeah.
So like, I just assumed all you guys knew each other. I didn't. And then I found out also like Kevin and I are kind of in the same boat. So yeah, dude, you guys are like our homies. Basically, we talk like once a week. So I'd love to meet you guys. Can I ask everybody to wear name tags so I can tell everybody?
Absolutely, and Jason will buy us all mediocre pizza. So mediocre.
That's like your pizza port's on me.
Yeah, all these sponsors at Pastrami Nation are going to help us make this happen. So let's do it. But seriously, that'd be a lot of fun. New Year's resolution. Let's make it happen. That'd be a lot of fun. Yeah, but because there's a lot of cool new stuff coming to Disney parks. You know, they're finishing up the treehouse. Finally, hopefully, it gets done really soon.
You want to talk about that for like a second and how weird that's kind of?
Yes.
Yeah, so it went from Tarzan back to Swiss Family Robinson. Yes. You know, that super relevant Disney property that all the kids love talking about.
Swiss Family who?
Yeah, exactly. Like it looks incredible.
Oh, it looks amazing.
Yeah, because they don't have anything covering it. And Kevin, you were mentioning like the builds that we can look up and you can see like it looked like a crashed plane or something.
You can see it looks in line with Tarzan. Like it still looks like that kind of line, you know, because it looks like it's wrecked. It looks like an old boat, you know, being built to use as the actual house and stuff like that. Unfortunately, though, I mean, I've talked about this before, but it just reminds me of a construction zone right now. So I was totally taken out of the experience by it. But yeah, it looks great. It looks fantastic, but I don't know why they're doing Swiss Family Robinson again. I guess.
Hey, they have their fans.
Yeah.
I don't know.
There's a few of them still living.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, yeah. But
when I think of Disney, I think of two big things. I think of That's So Raven, and I think of Swiss Family Robinson. And that's where my brain
That's so Robinson.
Did you drive home that same night, Kev, or the morning after? LOL, because that drive would suck tired. No, we actually we actually got into California on Thursday. So not this Thursday that just passed, but Thursday before. We got there like midnight. Christian she picked us up from the airport. Took us to our hotel Friday and Saturday. We had like just like park, you know, that downtown days, resort days, just stayed at the hotel right down the street. It was like a 15-20 minute walk from the park, not too bad. But then we did Disney. We alternated days between, we did Sunday Disneyland, Monday DCA, and then, you know, Tuesday Disneyland, Wednesday DCA, and then Thursday was our last day there. We did Disneyland, and then we flew home the next morning. We were at the airport by like 7:00 in the morning. Damn. So yeah, so it was you know, a lot of back. Like, guys, don't do 5 park days in a row. That's all I'm saying. It's fun, it's great, but man, like it's normally like when we did Walt Disney World, we at least had a couple of days in between. We did 6 days there, but we had 2 like resort days in between the parks. So it kind of split things up pretty good. So it wasn't just like constant bam, bam, bam. We did go back to the hotel pretty much every day for like a little siesta, like just to hang out, relax a little bit for an hour or two. And then we walked back to the park. So we had a breathers, we had things like that, but it's, when you're staying till like 10, midnight or whatever, and then waking up the next morning to rope drop, like it's a lot. 2 max. We did 3 and my kids were crying to go. Dude, 100%. I think, listen, the Hoskinsons love being around each other. The Hoskinsons love being around people. But there's only a certain point. There's a certain point where every family, where it's like, I want to kill every single one of you. And it's perfectly normal. Like it's just a thing, we're very bad. We were talking to Christian about this earlier, that we had to go get food because we were getting hangry, and you don't want to see this family hangry. Like it's a thing. And having 2 kids, like we're in the lucky position where our kids are like old enough, right? Like when we lived in California, we had the annual passes. He didn't even exactly 100%, but we had the annual passes. So we would take them when they were like toddlers and babies. That was a whole different experience. Like that was just like, no, like it's
That's
fun.
what my brother's going through right now.
It's crazy.
They
dude.
just went. I watched the house for them Saturday. They were supposedly gone all day. 4 hours later, they come back because baby wasn't having it,
Oh, no.
It's a lot, man.
They did snag me that totally awesome Thing hoodie. The one that's printed like Thing from Fantastic Four.
No, I saw that. That's awesome.
That's
so cool.
That's great. Yeah. But yeah, so it's it's good to have those days, and you can only take so much. But like our kids are older now, so they're like, Ellie, 12 and 17, 16. So like they just kind of.
I mean, okay. Here's the thing.
Themselves.
You guys in the chat, you guys have seen the kids every now and then. Like Ellie will pop on, and Eli's been on the show a few times.
Yeah,
your kids are like Ellie. She's what is he? She's 11. She's
11. She's gonna be 12.
11, going on 30. She's so mature.
Yeah.
Like she's such like a young woman already for sure. So, Eli too. He's such a smart. I don't know. He's a clever, funny, cool kid. Man, like you're.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
Good parents. No. It's awesome.
Yes.
Thank you. I appreciate that. That really means a lot. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Arturo, family. I can only handle them for some time. Other than that, I would want to get away from. And it's normal, right? It's normal. I actually, on a couple of our little siestas that we went back to the hotel, I kind of like snuck back to the park. I was like, I want some me time at the park for a little bit. So I went and just kind of hung out. Jason, get your nephew to be more like you. There you go.
I don't know if that's a good thing.
But let us know, let us know some of your favorite experiences at Disney. We're going to be talking a lot more Disney on Pastrami Nation, which I'm really, really excited for. We're working on some things that I can't wait to talk to you guys about. We're rolling those out pretty soon. So really, really excited. In the meantime, though, speaking of Disney, speaking of Star Wars, actually, there's two kind of segues here that I want to bring up. The first segue isn't really Star Wars, but it kind of is Star Wars because it was originally pitched as Star Wars, but now it's kind of its own thing. And of course, we're talking about Zack Snyder's new movie, Rebel Moon. Zack Snyder is making his own version of a Star Wars movie. It's coming out this December to Netflix. Part 1 comes out in December. Part 2 comes out in April. I don't know, Christian, you got the chance to see the trailer, correct?
Yes, I did.
What did you think about it?
If there's anything, if you're a Zack Snyder lover, if you're a Zack Snyder hater, I think we can all agree on one thing about him, and he excels on his visuals. It's beautiful to look at, right?
It looks like a Zack Snyder movie. Like
if you typed into like an AI, like what does a Zack Snyder Star Wars movie look like? This is what you would get. You would get a Rebel Moon trailer. So if you aren't this is the story that I heard, and I don't know exactly how true this is, but apparently he approached Lucasfilms with his pitch for a Star Wars movie. He wanted to do something in the sandbox, but not related to like the Skywalker legacy or anything. He wanted to do that. And he was like, but I wanted rated R. And they said no.
Mhm.
So he made Rebel Moon, which is basically his Star Wars. God, the visuals in it are so gorgeous. I can't deny that, right? Like, it's beautiful. I'm hoping his story is really cool. I generally like his storytelling. Like, I think, you know, you can put him like next to that Michael Bay kind of on the like little thing, slide him towards that. But I think he's a little bit of a better storyteller. And that's unfair to Michael Bay too, because I think they both have that in common. They're like visually striking directors. So I am very curious. There's some stuff. Man, he made those lightsabers look fucking cool. Like, I was like, fire? Like, what is it? It's cool, man. The action looks really cool. That lead actress, I don't know what their name is, looks super familiar. And if anybody remembers what they're from, like, please put that in the chat or something. Help me. But yeah, I think it looks pretty cool. I'll watch it, of course. You know, as a hardcore Star Wars fan, I'll watch it with judging eyes. What about you?
You'll be judging it the whole time. Oh, I think it looks great. It looks like a Zack Snyder movie. Like, I feel like if you like Zack Snyder, you're gonna love it.
Yeah.
And if you don't like Zack Snyder, probably not gonna love it. I think it looks cool. Like, like it's you know, I listened to this other podcast you all should check out. Even y'all listen, it's called Real Blend. It's a podcast hosted by 3 film critics and entertainment journalists and things like that. And one of the guys, Sean O'Connell, he actually wrote the book about the Snyderverse situation. But he's really tight with Zack Snyder, and he actually went to the set of this movie. You know, he couldn't really talk about it till recently. He wrote a couple things for Screen Rant, I think he writes for. He was talking about, he was interviewing Zack Snyder, and Zack Snyder was talking about like, this is my Star Wars movie. Like, everyone on the set apparently refers to this movie as Zack Snyder's Star Wars. Like, because that's exactly what it is. Just with, I think they said it's Star Wars, but with sex, violence, and gore, right? Like, it's super rated R. The trailer looked intriguing. Like, it looked interesting. Like, I still don't feel like I know exactly what's happening. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like it was a long trailer. It's like almost 4 minutes long, but I don't feel like it gave away anything, right? Like, it kind of gave you the basic feel of it, some of the story, but it didn't really, you know, that's the problem nowadays with a lot of these trailers, is they just give away a lot, like everything. This one doesn't give you anything. You're still kind of left like kind of scratching your head. Like, you can kind of get the beats from it, especially it being a Star Wars movie, right? Like, it's going to have the same kind of ebb and flow. But yeah, it looks gorgeous. I think Zack Snyder I think his films look amazing. And listen, people give me crap for this, but I honestly, I will go down with this, that I believe Sucker Punch is one of his best movies. I think visually it's stunning. I visually, at least visually. And I just think it's a, I don't want to say fun, because it's super dark, messed up, but it's probably his like most entertaining movie, if that makes sense.
The funnest movie about lobotomy ever.
It is 100% exactly, and the cast is great, and you know, I think it's a very, I think it's a lot it's obviously a lot more psychological. You know, it's more of a psychological thriller, but he throws these really cool action elements that are really anime inspired, like these really cool action sequences, which I think are fantastic. I'm very, very excited for it. I'm actually hoping it does get a theatrical release, much like, you know, Glass Onion and some of the other movies have. I think that would be great. I think I will go watch it. Eli's really excited to see it, and we'll go watch it in theaters if it's released in theaters. So Netflix, if you're listening or watching, release it in theaters. But
please,
I think we could maybe like. I think the fair criticism of Zack Snyder, and I think this is kind of like the common criticism of Zack Snyder, and I'm going to lump Michael Bay into this, is that they're all about that moment, right? Like that, oh shit moment. But like, I think where they lack is building up to it. So sometimes you get this like, oh shit, like when it could have been oh shit, because like, you know, we didn't take the time to build up to it. And But I think that's what like the goal is always just that striking, that page turner, right? In comics with the splash page, it's like but if you have too many splash pages, it like loses its effect. I don't know. I'm really excited. Michael Bay just did a really good one, right? The Ambulance movie. So
Ambulance was I actually really enjoyed Ambulance.
It's also
believe
probably
it or not.
Yeah, I'm annoying myself. I keep bringing up Michael Bay. We're not even talking about Michael Bay.
Michael Bay. Just don't let him anywhere near the Transformers.
Right.
Yeah, but they very much are the same kind of filmmaker, right? Like they're
spectacle.
Like spectacle, and as long as they stay in their lane, like they're fine. Like they're great. Like I love their stuff when they're just doing what they do best, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like when Michael Bay is just blowing stuff up and just like, like Ambulance was just this chaos. Like it was just, Bayham, as they call it, right? Like that's what I want from Michael Bay. Not saying he can't do other things, but I'm just saying it doesn't work when he tries other things. Right. Same with Zack Snyder. Like I'm honestly, again on the record saying that I'm not a fan of his superhero DC stuff because, I just don't think it worked. I don't think a lot of people are going to push back on this, but I don't think he understands the characters at all. And it didn't feel like he was really passionate about those projects, to be honest. He could have been, I don't know, just didn't feel like that to me. But when he's in his lane, like I love things like I love Sucker Punch. I love his Dawn of the Dead. I think his Dawn of the Dead is great. Yes. Actually, it's actually it is my favorite movie. It's fantastic. Written by James Gunn, which is kind of ironic, kind of a cool thing there. But yeah, I mean, I think Snyder 300 was good. I actually enjoyed 300. I thought it was fine. I can't think of anything. I mean, I know he's done like some other things too, but I can't really think of it.
I'm like in the middle on Watchmen. Watchmen is like my favorite comic or graphic novel, whatever you want to call
Watchmen,
it.
Yeah.
But I think he did a great job. I also think he missed the point of the story. With the
I think so too. I think so. I agree with you. Did you watch the TV show, by the way, the HBO series?
I need to go back and watch because I hear such good things about it. I love like Regina King, her name.
She's incredible.
Yeah.
I don't want to spoil anything at all.
Okay.
Watch it. Like I've watched me and Cassie watched it when it was being released, and my God, it takes the mythology of Watchmen and puts a whole new spin on it. And
I mean, I think it's pretty groundbreaking because I saw the first 2 episodes and like I remember that those first 2 episodes shined a light on that whole Tulsa history that nobody really knew about, and that blew it up. So I think like just for that alone, I think that's commendable for what HBO is doing with that.
100%. Yeah, absolutely. Check it out. It makes sense within the framework of the Watchmen, right? Like what they're fighting against and what they're all about. And I feel like this show, even though it wasn't a direct adaptation, certainly gets Watchmen more so than Zack Snyder did, like 100%.
Yeah.
But anyway, let's talk about real Star Wars. Let's move on to a brand new Disney Plus series about someone named Ahsoka. Ahsoka Tano, to be exact. So I got to watch the first episode. I will let these gentlemen take it over from here, though, because they watched both of the third one just released not too long ago today as we record this. Yeah. So they're going to be talking about the first 2, what they thought about it and stuff like that. So, gentlemen, take it away.
Cool.
You go first, Christian.
Oh, sure. So here's the big thing. If you guys are Star Wars fans, you guys already know what I'm talking about. If you're a casual Star Wars fan, there's a very good chance you probably didn't watch Rebels or Clone Wars. And that's kind of the thing, because a lot of this story is like heavily based on the events of Clone Wars and especially Rebels. So my question is like, I wonder what it was like, because Kevin actually hasn't seen Rebels. I know he's aware of it.
That's why I'm hiding in shame.
he's aware of it. You know what I mean? But,
yeah.
But I think, and it's hard for me to say because I'm not in this camp, but being somebody who did watch Rebels and loved Clone Wars, I like Rebels. I feel like everybody got the Jesus story. Like everybody was the chosen one. Like it's a team of chosen ones, which was weird. Like Ezra was the chosen one, and Sabine was the chosen one, and Hera's the greatest pilot ever. And Kanan is a chosen. You know what I mean? Like it's awesome, but then it gets tiresome when everybody is like, you have a team full of like the number one hero, which was my only real problem with Rebels. I still loved it. I love the characters. So going into this, fucking huge smile on my face. Ahsoka is my favorite Star Wars character, period. I think she's like a beautiful culmination of everything from the prequels, everything that leads into like the rest of like Star Wars. And it's like, I don't know. I love everything that Filoni does and he brings to the universe. That first episode was directed by Filoni. You can see it. It's money, man. It feels like when you watch this, that first 10 minutes of the first episode feels like it had more of a budget than the entirety of Obi-Wan. Like Obi-Wan, what happened? But it's beautiful. It pulls you right in. There's something, if you haven't seen it, right at the beginning of the episode that like, yep, it's Star Wars. It's absolutely Star Wars, and it just pulls you right into it. So,
and they're definitely not Jedi.
They're not Jedi. So it's just really cool. I think we're in good hands. I needed this because I feel like everything that Disney Plus has been releasing as far as their Marvel stuff and their Star Wars stuff, I've just not been liking. Like,
just real quick, can I interject really fast?
Please.
Did you guys see the 4Ks that they're releasing finally? They're releasing WandaVision, Loki, the first seasons on Blu-ray and 4K for the first time, and the first 2 seasons of Mandalorian.
Okay,
4K.
so those
really
are like
cool
the 4
books.
Seasons that I liked the most of everything.
Yes.
Were those 4?
So anyways, I just want to talk about that. They're actually doing it, and go buy it, physical media people. You never know when they're just going to take them off of Disney Plus. So I highly recommend when they come out. I will be pimping it out. I will be selling them like crazy. You all need to go get them. Anyway, sorry about that, Christian. I just
no. Disney, if you can also release a steelbook of Andor, that's like just the best Star Wars anything.
You know it's coming.
Yeah. So it's a really good show. It feels like a passion project, like somebody who knows the story well. It's his characters. But, we get a good round of characters from both Rebels and from Clone Wars. So some familiar voices, some familiar faces. I'm excited to see what's happening. If you've seen the 3rd episode, shut your fucking mouth because I haven't seen it yet. So please, no spoilers. But Jason, what did you think?
Oh my God, it was great. Like, and just that scene where the painting on the wall, I was like, yes, like that was just the nostalgia all over again.
Yeah. There's some like real emotional stuff I think that Dave's doing with the script. I like, Ahsoka kind of she's a runner, like that. She keeps running away from her problems. That's like her thing. She doesn't deal with anything. So I think everything's finally catching up. You know what I mean? I think she's just put in a position where she has to stop, turn around, and face these things that she's been running from. So that's really exciting. We've talked about this too, but like, I've heard people complaining that Ahsoka felt like she's too serious and like she was always so jokey on the show. She's like, "Hey, Sky Guy," and like, why is she so serious here? But anybody.
That's what I was used to. So I didn't watch the whole thing. So I know kind of the story. So I didn't know.
Yeah. Like and I get that, and that's totally fair because I would have assumed the same thing too. And if you got to like season 5 of Clone Wars, right? If you got to season 7 and you have a dry eye, like I don't know, like Ahsoka is probably again one of my favorite, if not my favorite Star Wars character, one of my favorite just fictional characters. Period. Just so beautifully written, and she's been through so much, and she still has more of her journey for us to see, and it's exciting. So I'm really happy, and if there was going to be a Star Wars show that was going to be good, not assuming that this is going to be good in the end, I'm glad that it's Ahsoka because she deserves it. So
definitely, and you got to love the thing she did with the lightsaber, and then
yeah.
Like that was badass just from the get-go.
Throwback to season 7. So if you guys remember when her and Rex were running away from all the other clones, she did that same exact move. It was so cool. Yeah, very, very
good
cool.
to see it translate in real life,
Yeah, to some live action. So yeah, it's really fun. I there are some things I'm hoping are going to happen on the show. But if I get my hopes up and it doesn't happen, I'll feel stupid. So I don't even want to say it out loud. But I'm going to say it out loud. I want to see Freddie Prinze Jr. reprise his role as Kanan in a flashback. I think that would be awesome. I would
It probably
so
will
happy to
happen.
see.
Most likely.
2 minutes of just seeing him with a little mask on, I'd be very, very happy. I think that'd be cool.
My God.
But yeah, it's a good show. I'm excited. I'm literally going to go downstairs and watch episode 3 right now, like right when we're done. So
Yep, same here.
yeah,
I didn't know it was. I kept thinking Wednesday for some reason.
It used to be Wednesdays.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah, no, for sure. So yeah, guys, I think that's our show. Go check out Ahsoka. Also, listen, I hate to go out on a small bummer, but I just, thoughts and prayers. Arlene Sorkin, the original, the OG Harley Quinn, the model for Harley Quinn, the inspiration for Harley Quinn, the original voice of Harley Quinn on the animated series, the person that they saw and they were like, this is Harley Quinn. Let's design the character after Harley Quinn. Let's design the character after Arlene Sorkin. Let's create this character around her personality, around who she is. And that's exactly what they did. And she unfortunately passed away earlier this week. It's just kind of, we have Bob Barker also
holy
recently
shit,
passed away.
Bob Barker, Bray
can we
Wyatt.
talk about that for a fucking second?
Yes.
I feel like, okay, this is my personal Mandela, because I could have swore Bob Barker died like 7 years ago.
100%. I was the same way. And then I found out he did pass away. I was like, wait.
Yeah.
Isn't he dead? No, he is not. He is now.
Yeah.
He'll live
a lot
forever.
of people were a lot of people were confused about that, but they were thinking about, I mean, obviously not too long ago, but it was like some people were getting him confused with Alex Trebek when Alex Trebek passed away. A lot of people were
very specifically know the difference. Yeah. So
I know.
They just said the same thing. Are you talking about Alex Trebek? I'm like, no, I know. It's weird. I could have swore Bob Barker, the whole thing. And then when I started seeing things on like Instagram, I was like, oh, this must be old. Wait, why am I seeing Bob Barker stuff again? I'm like, is it the anniversary or something? And then, yeah, weird. Also, yes, Arturo. Terry Funk, also, and Brad Wyatt from WWE.
Bray Wyatt was the shocker. He's only 36 years old.
36 years
set
old.
to make a huge run. Like he was going to make his comeback, and he was set for another title run. And it's just, I think what got me the most was because I'm a big, huge wrestling fan. Bray Wyatt, real name is Wyndham Rotunda. His dad, Mike Rotunda, was IRS.
That's his real name, and he changed it to Bray Wyatt.
They changed him for characters, but he was his dad was Mike Rotunda, who was IRS. Irwin R. Shyster. And I think the saddest thing was somebody posted a picture. They said Mike Rotunda with his two sons, Bray and Bo Dallas. And they're Bray Wyatt, just a little boy on his back, like back in the early 90s, riding around like in their living room. I'm like, wow, because I grew up watching all that, that's kind of when I jumped into wrestling, was around that era in the early 90s. And Bray Wyatt's always been a good character. Even when they had him as Husky Harris when he first came onto the scene, and he worked with whatever gimmick they gave him, and the Bray Wyatt character actually skyrocketed his career, and 36 years old. It's like,
that's crazy.
Heart attack.
It's heart attack. That's why.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Well, it was due to a COVID. It's COVID related. He had COVID and he had complications from the COVID because he already had heart issues, and that caused
just kind of sped it up.
Yeah.
Heart disease is one of the leading causes of death for like men our age. If you're listening to this and you haven't been checked up recently, you should at least go take your blood pressure or something and check that out, because that's a
absolutely
sleeping little murderer under our skin, all of us. So please
100%
take care of yourself.
Very much so.
100% take care of yourselves. Make sure to take care of each other too. Encourage your listen, it's important, any kind of cancers or diseases or anything are important for all sexes, male, female, whatever. But, men a lot of the times have this they're not going to go check for that. Like, they're not going to have it, whatever. They're too cool for that. No, don't do that. Don't do that. If you have friends that are like that, don't let them do that, man. Make sure they go get checked out. Care for yourselves, care for each other, those around you. We all need to spread out and take care of each other. So yeah, just a lot of crazy things happening this week. So just just goes to show, man, you can't don't take your life for granted. Like go out there and live your life the best. Yeah, because you never know.
And go see Blue Beetle because it was good.
Oh, that's awesome! Blue Beetle. You saw Blue Beetle. I didn't even know you saw Blue Beetle. I heard it was good.
Fun movie.
Good, cool.
Freaking George Lopez was fucking hilarious.
I gotta check it out.
Cool, man. Oh, that's cool. We should have talked about that a little bit more. I didn't know you watched that.
Yeah, I didn't know you saw it.
Yeah.
Good
no,
movie.
For sure. Yeah, go check out Blue Beetle. I'm actually pretty excited to go see it. I might watch it this weekend, actually. What's coming out? Anything coming out this weekend?
I still want to see Gran Turismo, but I also want to see Blue Beetle too.
I want to see Gran Turismo
first.
Also.
Blue Beetle first?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I'll probably not tomorrow. Thursday night, maybe. I'll go check it out.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, awesome, guys. Thank you all for joining us. Thank you guys for checking out the show. We really appreciate it. As always, please, wherever you're checking us out, make sure to like and subscribe. Visit Pastrami Nation on all the socials. We got Instagram, we got Facebook, we got YouTube, we got Pinterest. We got all of that fun stuff. Definitely check it out. Give it a like. Any kind of time you share or whatever actually helps us out a lot. We do have the audio versions of the podcast as well. Those are up on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Make sure to look those up. And if you want them on the go, you can check them out on the go. Until next time, thank you guys so much for joining us, and hope you guys have a good week, have a good day, have a good night, have a good whenever you're checking this out. Just have a good one. And from all of us here, take care of yourselves and each other, and have a great night. We will see you guys next week. Bye-bye.
Thank you, guys.